Good morning, team. We are back with another episode of Cajun Tiger Plays. I am Cajun Tiger, and we are working through a Let's Play series for the game Dyson Sphere Program. We're going to start today by jumping into these depots that we built and grabbing a bunch of foundations. We are going to need a bunch of foundations for all the things we need to do today. So we're just going to clean those out. In addition to the foundations, we are going to need a lot of soil pile. So we're going to spend just a few minutes here covering up some of our ground and covering up these hills so that we can collect soil pile from them. All the way over here. Plenty of soil pile to be had in these areas. Some of it's actually consuming, but we'll just drag and paint because it's easier. All right, that gets us up to 128. Let's see, we can also do a little bit here while we're here. Might as well do this little bit as well. And we will come back and do these areas in just a little bit, because the other thing we need to do, and I'll show you in just a minute, is we need to address some power issues that we're having right now. So we're going to request 600 of our solar panels from the other planet where we're making them, and we can look at our power and see we're not quite at 100% sufficiency. So we will get those solar panels coming in. While we're waiting on that, we're going to come back over here to our home base, and we've got some things to clean up here as well. So before we do that, we want to start making. We'll grab all of those processors. We probably don't need all of them, but we'll have them for future use. We're going to make a couple of these distributors, and we're going to make 20 more of these logistics bots that we made before. Now, earlier we had cleaned up some of these depots, and I had forgotten this one, so it's made a bunch of extra reinforced thrusters that we don't really need right now. We have maxed out our stack of interstellar logistic vessels, and we're not really using a whole lot, so that's extra. We also will eventually be making the electromagnetic turbines. Is that the right thing? Electromagnetic turbine? Yeah, electromagnetic turbine. Look at me getting it right. We are going to be making those and bringing those in, so we'll get lots of those. We don't want that to overflow here, so we will put a limiter on that, even though we're not getting anywhere near that limit right now. Let's grab all of the planetary logistics stations, and we're going to set up the automation here to build interstellar logistics stations. And I'll explain why in just a minute. Let's go ahead and put 4 of these in here to get those built. So we are needing to build graviton lenses for green science. One of the things, diamonds are easy, we talked about that. Strange matter is not so easy. We know how to make particle colliders, we've done that before. We know how to make iron ingots. We need to make deuterium. And the best and easiest way to make deuterium is with our fractionator. We can make 1 out of 100 to hydrogen into deuterium, or we can use particle colliders, which is a little bit harder to do. But we can gather hydrogen from our processes that we've done with the oil, but we can also get them with orbital collectors. And these go onto our gas giant, and they float on the gas giant and harvest hydrogen and deuterium from the gas giant, and we will need plenty of it. So we want to get these automatically built. You can see we also need the this motor, the supermagnetic ring for those, and we need charged up accumulators, and accumulators need the motor. So our first step today is to start working toward getting the hydrogen little by little, and then eventually we'll do electromagnetic turbines as well, so that we can get those built so we can start making supermagnetic rings to make the things that we need to make. So we want to make all the things all the time. All right, let's pick up a few more items that we need here, and our replication is complete. So while we're here, we're going to grab a distributor and put it on top of there, and then we'll put some drones inside. and turn that off. This is going to be a requesting station. We want to request belts, Mark 1 belts from somewhere else. And you guys know where that is because we built the array, we built the mini array, I guess I should say, to make Mark 1 belts. Oh, before we go too much further, let's take care of this. Yellow science. Occasionally we get science, particularly that yellow science we got from one of our upgrade research technologies, not technologies, the upgrades. You get yellow science, you get different things, and we got yellow science. So we'll put that in the box when we're here. We'll just throw it in the box. So we'll grab Tesla towers, we'll drop off those wind turbines, and grab a bunch of sorters, excuse me, and then we'll put our other distributor here, and we'll throw our drones in. We will give them power and set this up to distribute, and we see drones already heading out with belts going to the other distributor to drop them off and fill that up. So that will help our process for building Mark II belts, and we're going to need a ton of those for what we're doing in the next few days, next few episodes. Let's grab some soil pile while we're here, because again, we're going to need a bunch for everything we want to get done. Alrighty, that should be enough to get us going. So remember, we have two of our generator grids here, and while we're putting soil down, while we're putting foundation down and getting these solar panels out, I want to talk about the energy crisis, the death spiral that you can get into. So you saw earlier we were looking at the fact that we were at 80 to 90% sufficiency on our power. That means our assemblers, our smelters, all of our machines basically are working at 80 to 90% efficiency. So that means we think we're creating 12 energetic graphite per second. Really, we're not. We're only operating at 80, 90% efficiency. So we're creating less than 12. Well, our builds of generators are expecting 6 each. We're creating two arrays of energetic graphite. Each of those arrays is making 2 belts. So we have 4 belts producing 12 each. So with 4 belts producing 12 each, we can fuel 8 belts of 6 each for our generators. So that means that's great when we're producing everything and consuming everything, all wonderful. If we start producing at a lower rate because of power going down, we are not getting as much fuel as we think we are. And so when we run out of fuel, we don't have enough to produce at 80%. We drop down to 70% or 60%, which means we produce less, which means we have less to consume, which means fewer generators are powered, which means less power, which means we produce less, which means we have less to consume, which means fewer generators. It's a death spiral. So if you don't watch your power, then you can easily run out. So hopefully that makes sense. Clear settings here, we'll empty that out and drop it all in our inventory, and we're going to change that to pull in magnets. All right, while we're doing our last row here, we are going to switch gears and do our call out for today. Call out for today is for a viewer named Yardif. I think I'm saying that right. Yardif asked me a question in the comments. Why aren't we using copy and paste? Well, I'm not using copy and paste because I'm old and I forget sometimes. So here's how copy and paste works. Control C opens up what looks like our blueprint mode, and it is. So you can see on the bottom, it's our blueprint copy mode. And click there, and we cover all of these solar panels that we've created and click our buttons, and now they're all highlighted blue. And then we Control V to paste. Oh, we didn't remove the other Tesla towers over here that are in our way. Let's remove those, and let's remove these real quick. And then we can Control V, and lo and behold, we have copy and paste. So we paste that, we paste that, and we paste that. Now that was a whole lot easier than actually running around and physically entering all of these rows of solar panels. So copy and paste is very efficient for getting your build plan out, and then the drones can fill in everything as we go. So good call out by Yardif. I appreciate it. Thanks, man, for watching. I say thanks, man. I'm assuming you're a guy. I'm sorry. Thanks, Yardif, for watching. I don't know if you're a guy or girl, but whoever you are, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you calling me out on things like that because I don't always remember everything. Like I said before, I do play these games, these episodes. I play them several times before I actually start recording. And sometimes I remember things when I'm doing it, sometimes I don't. But before this playthrough, I have only played Dyson Sphere Program one time. So, yeah, there's lots of stuff that I don't remember. I do try to do some research and remember things, but it doesn't always happen. So thanks for calling me out on that and reminding me. Now with all of those done, we'll head down to the other pole and do the same thing. We're going to pick up more foundations while we're passing by. And again, this is what we were talking about. That's our two 12 per second arrays with 2 belts each of energetic graphite. So, and then over here on this pole, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our generator arrays. So we are perfectly matched with our energetic graphite that's being created by those smelting arrays and the energetic graphite being consumed by our generator arrays. Now, I did not do the exact math. We did some oil processing that's creating energetic graphite. I don't know if we're overproducing or underproducing, but we, probably need to watch that just so that we can make sure that we're not running out of energetic graphite and we're not running out of power. But these solar arrays that we're building will definitely help our power situation. And clicking on the Tesla towers, get rid of those. We can Control V again, and that opens up our blueprint mode, and we can just click down and let the drones go to work. Now over here, when we click, it's going to warn us that we have collisions because of that copper mining operation that's going on. So in order to bypass that, if you read the instructions on the bottom, it'll tell you all about pasting blueprints and things like that. We can just Shift Enter, and it pastes the items that it can. We're going to come over here and look, and it just skips over the places where it can't, where there would be a collision. So that works out well for us. It lets us build the blueprint that we want and skip over the things that can't be built, and we can address it personally, manually, whatever you want to call the process. We can address it once we've done with the blueprint. So this blueprint, not blueprint, we didn't do an actual blueprint. We could, and you saw the copy and paste. It let me actually paste over multiple fault lines around the planet, because we had copied from multiple fault lines, so it let us overlap there. So we'll get all of this done. We'll look at our power. This is going to help take care of power for a little bit. We will still need more, but we have enough at least to get started with our plans for today. Alrighty, last few. There we go. Let him do that one, and we can look back at our power, and our sufficiency looks much better than it did earlier. Alrighty, so heading back up to the equator, we are going to start by heading over here and picking up where we left off. So again, we have a loon that is 10 of these 10 by 10 grids wide. If you'll recall, a loon is when you take a meridian from pole to pole, and then a second meridian over here from pole to pole. This area in between is called a loon. It's pointed on the ends and it widens out in the middle because it's on a sphere. So we want to go 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'll start right here. And the reason we do that, again, is because when we get to the high-speed belts, the Mark III belts, we will be using 30 per second, and this amount of distance allows us to put 30 smelters in, and that covers anything that's built 1 per second in a smelter, and we can handle it. All right, we're going to come out probably a little bit further than we need to, but it will help build up our soil pile for things we need to do later today. So again, we're working on building our electromagnetic generators, or turbines, electromagnetic turbines. And to do those, we need magnetic coils and we need gears. So we are going to make those here. So magnetic coils take 2 items each. So we'll grab our 2-item blueprint and we'll drop it again on the side closest to the equator. We want to be on the line closest to the equator for our middle line. So that one goes there. Then our other blueprint is going to be actually the same one. I could have kept it open, sorry. 2 items per side, but the difference is gears are kind of unique in that gears only use iron ingots to create. So we'll talk about how we're going to deal with that, how that makes it a little bit different once we get to them. But for now, let's get all of this created. We want to power what we're doing. So let's get our power dropped. See where the drones are. The drones are already busy building our array up there, so we'll help them out a little bit down here. Well, we'll try to help them out. There we go. And then we can come back up here. They'll be able to get the rest of it there. We can build up to here, and then we can start working on our build. First thing we want to do, as always, is update all of these. We are not going to update the other build. We're not going to update this one up here for gears yet. And again, we'll talk about why in just a little bit. All right, for this build, we need magnetic coils, we need magnets, and we need copper. So let's copy this over. We can copy our recipe to these other sections, and then we can copy and paste. Oh, we already did that one. Tab 3 times to get our copy and paste working here. Tab 3 times there, and tab 3 times. Oops, I tabbed too many times. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, now we can use our copy and paste again. And we're going to copy and paste the whole thing. It's going to be a little more than we need, but we can cover here, and that gets us 6. And unfortunately, because of the Tesla towers, it's going to complain. So we just shift enter. And we actually, if we look at our formula, we see that they use 2 magnets. So 2 times our 0.75 is 1.5, divided by 1 is 1.5. 12 per second for our belts, divided by 1.5 is 8. So we want to do 8 here. So we're going to overlap just a little bit, and that will give us a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we can build there and do our shift enter again, and it will build everything for us. Let the drones get busy working on that. We do want to move this Tesla tower to line it up properly. Oops, not there. There. And then we'll have to build Tesla towers on this side. There we go. And occasionally you run into this issue where the belts don't quite match up because of the way the blueprint was overlapping. Not a big deal. We just come in here and fill in those belts, but that was a lot quicker than actually drawing all the belts ourselves and doing everything manually. All right, so we are making our magnetic coils here. I have been putting the item that we're making at the bottom. I think I'm going to start putting it at the top, and I'm literally just doing this. I did not do this in any of my other playthroughs, but it makes it easier for us to see. We need magnets and we need copper. So we're going to bring in magnets, we're going to bring in copper here, and we're going to grab 30 of those and change this to demand, change this to demand, and we should see those starting to get created. Now, we also know that we should be creating output belts for each of these as well. Oh, you know what I did do wrong? I did this incorrectly. Okay, we'll come back and fix this in a minute. If you know what I did wrong, good for you. You're smarter than the average bear. Okay, so we'll come back and look at that in a minute. Let's work on our gears first. So for gears, we are going to pick our recipe and copy and paste it to there. And then for gears, again, we can do our formula. 0.75 divided by 1 is 1, and then 12 divided by 0.75 is actually 16. We're not going to make 16 of these. So here's what's going on. This is using 2 to make what we're making. So if we can't do this, and we can't do it that way. Yep, I messed up. Okay, so I messed up some stuff. We'll fix it in a minute. Okay, so we put item number 1 as our iron ingots. We can't pick iron ingots again, so we pick gears. And we put some drones in. Let's put 20 drones in here. And we change this to demand. And what we can do, though, because we don't need gears coming out, we can change that to iron ingots. And we can come over here, and we can change this one to iron ingots as well. Now we've got iron ingots coming out, so each one of these is going to be a full array of iron ingots. We're not going to do 12 because 16, and that's a lot of iron ingots. We can come and upgrade it later, but each one of these rows going out 16 would be overkill. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to add 1 each, and that will give us 4, which will give us half a belt of gears for each one of these. So we could use our copy and paste, but this one, since we're just going a short distance, since we're just going a short distance over, we will just draw it ourselves. There we go. And we can drop our assemblers. That will get, that's not going to work because, why don't you like that? What was wrong with that? Oh, okay. So let's get rid of that one and copy you there, and then copy you there. There we go. Okay, so that gets us half belts of gears going back in. Okay, so back over here, I messed up a couple of things. So let's fix them. We've got copper here, but we actually don't have anywhere for copper to come out. So we'll have to change that. We also are, why are we not getting magnets? This is the second time I've done this and have not been getting magnets. We did set this up to get magnets, didn't we? Thought we did. We did, we didn't set it up for remote demand. Okay, so again, my niche in playing these games is to show you, you don't have to be optimal. You can be suboptimal. Okay, now the other thing we did incorrectly is both sides of the belt are feeding off of a single belt. So one belt of magnets is going to allow us to make 8 assemblers worth of magnetic coils. So we need 8 assemblers, not 8 on either side of the belt. So everything extra over here that we built is not really needed. So we can grab our delete piece and just delete it all. Get rid of it all. Get the little extra belts because we definitely want all of our belts. We're going to need them later. All right, and then we can change the output here. So we are getting magnets now. We can change the output by looking directly here and picking copper instead. So we're not going to be able, unless we want to do this on every single one of our blueprints, we're not going to be able to change putting the item being created at the top. So anyway, this is going to create 2 belts of magnetic coils. So we'll have 2 belts of magnetic coils, and you see them backed up because the magnets came in first. But over time, they won't go away, but we can come back and we can put... why are you not working? You're not getting any copper. Oh, because we have magnetic coils there. Look at that. That's interesting. Okay, we picked those up. That's good. All right, everybody else is working. So over time, it might reduce a little bit, but probably not. So we can come in and put another assembler in, and that would help take care of it. But eventually, we'll use 30 per second, and that will be we'll be done. So we're going to go ahead and put every time it says obtain soil pile, we're going to go ahead and put the foundation down as we count out 10 more. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So our next one will be here. This is our next starting spot. And we are going to start on the bottom side here. We'll cover up everything that we need. I think we're going to want to go a little bit further out than normal for this section, but we'll see. All right, so we'll put all of that down. Now, the next thing we want to make is the electric motors, and that's got 3 items as its requirements. So we have an assembler that does that, or an assembler array that does that. Again, middle line is closer to the equator in that center zone, and we click there, and we can get our power, our solo power. Well, we don't. I don't guess we need flight mode, but we can do our space enter on our blueprints, so we can get 1 foundation down there. We don't have to use extra foundation. Get our power poles built, Tesla towers built. We'll come down this way and do this manually. Help the drones out a little bit. There we go. Drones taking care of all the power there. Put Tesla tower here and a Tesla tower there. All right, now for this one, we do want to use our upgrade. So we're going to upgrade all the belts there, and we'll pick our recipe as electric motors. Now remember, with this recipe, we actually have each one of these arrays is using whatever's in the number 1 position. And we'll start from the bottom with our electric motor. And because the electric motor uses 2 of the iron ingots, each array has its own belt of iron ingots. They share the gears belt, and they share the magnetic coil belt, but they're using, if we put iron here, they'll be using an individual, each one will be using 1 belt. So if we do our math, 2 times 0.75 is 1.5. That's how many iron ingots we use per process. 1.5 divided by 2 is 0.75, which is how many we use per second. And if we take our 12 per second belt and divide by 0.75, that's 16 belts. So each of our arrays here, each of our rows here, can use 16, can make 16. So I thought we had set this up properly, but every time I've gone in here, it's not set up properly. So we'll just have to remember to drag those as we go. But we'll put our iron ingots, our gears, and our magnetic coils here, and we'll set those to demand. And we can, like I said, go out for 16. I don't think we're going to do that because that would be a little bit overkill right now, and that would use up all of our magnetic coils that we just made. So we have to tab 3 times, copy that one, tab 3 times, and copy this one, and tab 3 times. And then with all of that done, we can use our handy dandy copy and paste again. So we copy and paste this, and that should line things up pretty much right so that everything gets built. Yep, all of our belts look like they're connected here. So we should see as things are coming in, we're going to need more iron, obviously. We do have iron on the other planets, so we can bring it in from there if we need to. But we'll let the drones work on that while we put some foundations down up here to build our final build for today, which is going to be our electromagnetic generators, or electromagnetic turbines. What are they called? Electromagnetic turbines. Okay. So again, electromagnetic turbines use 2 items. So we have a assembler for that. We want to be on the parallel closer to the pole this time, not all the way up, but closer to the pole. So we click there. This one, again, we will use our upgrade facility to upgrade these belts, and hopefully we don't run out of belts before we finish. We do need to add power, so we're going to put power here so that's all connected. And then we can choose our recipe for these as the electromagnetic turbine, copy and paste that. And if we look at our recipe, do our real quick math, 1.5, 2 per second is 1.5 per 2 items per build is actually 1.5 per build. Divided by 2 seconds per build means that we're doing 0.75 per second. 12 divided by 0.75 is 16 again. But this time, remember, we have 2 sides of the belt. They're sharing the items that we make. So we're going to make 16. We're going to make 8 per side. We're going to copy and paste these first so that we can put our belts in place. Oops, that was quite enough. And then we'll use, once we get this built this way with the 4th item, which we probably should have done our original blueprint with 4, but we didn't. I didn't. So that's all right. It'll be okay. We'll copy this over, copy this over. Oops, something wasn't right. What was it? What did you not like about me? Let's destroy that one. Then let's build this one. Then let's build this one. There we go. Now everybody's happy. Build this one. Can build this one. And we are almost at time, but we'll use our copy and paste one more time. And copy and paste this to get our full belts of electromagnetic turbines built. Again, we want to move our Tesla towers here in the middle, and we'll have to build them on the outsides.
Research complete.
Move those. There's the green science cubes that we were looking for. We can look at that next time as well. All right, we're going to put 30 in here. 30 drones should be enough. Oops. And we'll do our magnetic coils, and we'll do, what was the other thing we need? Oh, we need the motors, the electric motors, and those will produce electromagnetic turbines. So we demand both of those, and we should see them coming in. Why don't we have electric motors being built? Oh, because we changed things up a little bit, and because of our iron production as well. We are not getting very much iron. So we have a very, very scant few. We needed to set that recipe for our gears, and now things are flowing a little bit better, but we still need a good bit more iron. We will start to get a few here. There they go. Now they're coming in. All right. So with all of that done, let's head back to our home base. And we'll talk about what we're going to be doing next when we get there. We are going to request for those electromagnetic turbines to come in here. Again, we don't need a bunch. We just want 500. That'll be enough. Go ahead and add 30 more drones here because we want to be sure we're getting plenty of stuff. And as they get created, they'll get brought in, and we'll bring them and replace what we're doing here, and we'll just feed them along this line to replace everything, and then we'll start building the supermagnetic rings that we want to build, and we'll start making all the other stuff in our next episode. So that is it for today. I think we have done everything that we were hoping to get done, and we're only a few minutes over. So apologies for being a little bit long today, but it was a good episode. I think we got everything done. We will hopefully be able to see there we go. We see our first load of electromagnetic turbines coming in, and in our next episode we will start using them. So that's it for today. Remember, players, it is pitch black. You're likely to be eaten by a grue. Keep building, team.